Hey now. What's up, my people? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of SW Live. We are on, what's today? Wednesday, 10/23. Y'all, we almost at the end of the month. We have now officially closed out Libra season. We have now welcomed the Scorpios into the house because it is their time to shine and do their thing. Everybody that celebrated Libra season, woo woo. I'm glad y'all had a good time. But let's let these Scorpios through, baby, because they are here to stay for a little while. They'll be here for a little while, at least until what is it, November? I don't want to think about it right now. I just know Scorpio's gonna be around for a little bit. I got a couple of Scorpios in my life too to celebrate. Been celebrating Libra season. It seemed like forever. I don't know. We just had a lot of Libras, and my uncle started Scorpio season off today. My friend started Scorpio season off today. It's gonna be a whirlwind of birthdays just constantly. Everybody was born at the end of the year. Seems like everybody's parents was fucking at the beginning of the year. I don't know. Um, but welcome, y'all. Welcome to a brand new episode of SW Live. And today we're going to go around the world black, and we're going to talk about some of the things that we're going to talk about things that you're currently doing in your life that is helping you prepare for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Are you stagnant? Are you doing things that you should be doing? Put my microphone together. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that today. We're gonna jump into the conversation quickly because I don't want to hold y'all too long today. Um, and not only do I not want to hold y'all too long, I just have a quick show. Today's just gonna be a quick show. That's really the gist of it. So let's jump into it. First and foremost, let's talk about this quote of the day. Remember, today is the tomorrow you wanted yesterday. And it fits perfectly with our conversation today because we're talking about um, things that we're doing to better us and to make us more, better at what we're doing, our goals, whether it's goal oriented stuff, family oriented stuff, just life in general. So we're going to beat that dead horse today, but we're also going to make sure that you walk away with some new knowledge or things that you may not have known just before in general. We want to every show is to always make sure that you leave off this podcast with a little bit more fulfillment and a little bit more information than you had when you came on. So our quote today says, remember, today is the tomorrow you wanted yesterday. So the building that you're doing, the work that you're doing, the emphasis that you're doing to put in on what you're building, that is what you're doing every single day. So what you're doing today is going to affect your tomorrow, and what you did yesterday is affecting your today. So if it makes sense, give me a round of applause. Let me make sure y'all got that. I really want y'all to understand that you everything that you're doing is putting in the time, the commitment, the goals. Everything is doing what you're doing. Everything you're doing is building on what you're supposed to be doing to make your goals and stuff come true. Make sure what you're doing isn't just, you're not just out here living. You're supposed to be doing something day to day. And I saw post earlier today that said um people say you're supposed to fuck off in your 20s and then live your life and all of that stuff without too much care. And it was like we're babying the generations, the males and the females of the in the 20s, when you're really supposed to be setting yourself up for your 30s, and you're really supposed to set yourself up for your 40s, because the people who took care of you are going to be dependent on you. So if you ride here fucking off your whole 20s, how you going to be good for your 30s? How you going to be good for your 40s? You can't just say, okay, at 30 I'm going to start being serious. No, you got to be serious now, and you got to be working toward your goals now. Every day is the opportunity to do better. God did not give us this time or these reasons or this space to say that we just need to fuck off. No, that's not what we're supposed to be doing. So when we sit up and excuse the youth for making effed up decisions and then say, okay, you can do that because you're young. That's not morally true. People dying young now, and they dying without fulfilling anything. They're dying doing crazy shit. A lot of them just dying because of the things that the choices that they made. So we need to be pouring into these younger children or the younger generation with real stuff instead of just saying, oh, you got time, or you got time, or you got time, but you don't. You don't. This stuff goes by fast. I tell my kids all the time, once you turn 21, you turn 25. So in 25, you 30. So you do not want to sit up and be caught wasting time, because time waits for no one. And those goals that you think that you have set up and that you done wrote down for a long-term goal, if you're not working toward making those goals realistic, or you're not working toward building upon those goals, you're wasting your time. That's simply what it is. You can have a million things that you got written down to do. If there's no action behind it, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. So be strong and be resilient on having the goals, but also be just as resilient on using the action toward making sure those goals become actual life situations, not just, oh, I said I was gonna do this. Please don't be the person that just be saying shit. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't start now just talking. Get into it. Time waits for no one. All right. So remember, today is the tomorrow you wanted yesterday, and these are the days that we're praying for. Whatever, when we check something off of our list, that feels so good. When we go on to the next portion of our list, that feels so good. So it's always going to be a constant, because you're going to be constantly checking stuff off. You're going to be constantly making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're going to be constantly making sure that you, the Shelby, or anybody, whoever you are, is making sure that every piece of work you put into the universe is building on something else that you put in this in the universe as well. Okay. That's how we want to do that. We definitely want to give real structure and focus to our goals. Entrepreneurs, you have a resilient amount of hard work to do to continue to make sure that your business is booming. That's something, the work that goes into that is very structured. It has to be disciplined. You have to know exactly how to spend your money, when to spend your money, when not to spend your money. You got to know so many different things. So you need to be researching how to be better at what you're doing, just so that you don't have any issues when it comes down to saying or putting out there what you fulfill. Because if you got a list of things that you're trying to do, it's not going to fulfill itself. It's definitely not. All right. That's our quote. Remember, today is the tomorrow that you wanted yesterday. Waking up every single day makes me feel so fulfilled, because now I get the opportunity to go out and do something different again, and focus on my goals again, build upon my goals again. Every single day that I go to work, I'm smarter at something every single day. I'm doing something different every single day. I do not waste my time. Point blank, period. Because 8 of those hours of my day are already committed to a job. So when I get off that job, my podcast it can't just complete itself. It has to have me behind it with the action to make sure it's being beneficial. When I say that every time that I have a podcast or do a show, you're going to walk away with some information that you didn't know before, you're going to. I work at that. I research at that. I make sure of that. I don't just speak it. I do it. So that's how I need you all, especially our youth, to be more condemned and focused on their goals. Put it into work, put it on paper, and write it in pen, because you can't erase it then. Put it on paper, write it in pen, and then get to stepping on it. Do whatever you must do to make sure that shit work. Okay? Every time. Every time. All right. Let's jump into the discussion for the day. First around the world Black situation is, how morally ambiguous are you? And if you describe something that's ambiguous, you mean that it's unclear or confusing, because it can be understood in more than one way. So for this reason, are your morals unclear? Are your morals confusing? Or are you just less morally ambiguous or more depending on the situation? So, um, example, if you believe that if you believe that your morals can be questioned or they can change depending on who you're dealing with or whatever the situation is, then you're probably not set on what your morals really are. If your morals can change up in a situation, they're not clear, they're not confound, they're not founded in anything. If a situation allows your morals to just uproot and just say, you know what, today is not the day for me to be morally ambiguous, I'm going to do it differently today. I'm going to just make things all about me, or I'm going to do things that don't affect me and it affects somebody else. So if your mindset can change based on the day when it comes to morals, you need a little bit more assistance in grounding yourself. You cannot think that it's okay for your attitude to just change for different reasons, or like you cannot think that it's okay that, okay, if you got two children and one of your children, of course they may need a little bit more time, need a little bit more of you, and but even in that, you still have to make sure that the morals are there. So you don't have to be different between the two children. You're just caring for one in a different manner so that they can understand it in their capacity. But that doesn't mean that you're choosing to handle it in a morally different way. Because if you can switch it up like that, then it's not concise. It's not founded into anything. And then your mind can change easily. So your morals have to be a guide to your goals. As long as your morals support how you live and how you think and how you operate, then you're a little bit morally ambiguous. But if you're not, you got to fix that, because we do not need people that are going to change up based on whether it's raining or whether it's sunshine. The only thing that's supposed to change up then are your clothes, but not your attitude, not how you deal with people, not how you do anything. Your morals are supposed to be a grounded foundation that you can stand on and that you can pass on to the other people in your life, whether it be your children, whether it be family members, whether it be people you mentor, even if it's coworkers. Your morals should not change based on a situation. Okay? Focus, focus, focus. All right. Next topic. Now, I have to bring this topic up on a regular, probably like once every 2 months, because I don't think that people realize how important sex is in a relationship, and not just the sexual portion of sex. Why sex is important, why you must have sex with that person. There's different reasons behind it. So according to studies, sex strengthens the bond between partners, right? Increasing their long term relationship satisfaction. And research suggests that a key ingredient to sexual satisfaction in a relationship is positive affect and feels like being on an emotional high. Um, my kid laughing. Of course, she laughing. And being on an emotional high. Is it the sex itself or something about sexual activity that is so good for our happiness? And that's what it is. Your body creates all these other the hormones that are already inside of your body are creating other different things that make you feel good, whether it is whether it's the good feelings that you get from it or the normal feelings you get from sex. Is not just the sex, it's the act of it with the person. It's the person that you're wanting to have sex with. It's not just like, let me just go have sex, because then you could just do it with anybody. But if the connection is strong and the connection is real, some of those it's a pitocin that goes through our bodies that says this is something that I want to keep doing with this person. So you might argue that people who are happier are more likely to have sex, more often because they're in a good relationship and they are satisfied with it. So if that person ain't giving it to you how you want to have it, of course you're not going to be the happy person. And then why waste your time? Why waste your time? Why even be with somebody that's not giving you good sexual arousal? Because at some point, you're going to either end the relationship because you're not happy sexually, or you're going to cheat. And there's a lot of people that's just cheating. So just end their damn relationship. But not even just that. Don't stop jumping into relationships when you already know that you are not sexually satisfied. If your sexual life with your partner keeps you sexually frustrated, leave. Don't even get involved in it. That's an issue. A lot of people be just getting into relationships and staying in the relationships for comfort. It don't work like that. What's up, Trina? How you doing, lady? You don't just get into these relationships just out of comfort anymore. You too. A lot of y'all too old for that. We supposed to, like the when we were in our youth, we made some silly decisions. You know what I'm saying? We acting crazy, we acting out, we doing things we shouldn't even be doing in the midst of all of the things that's going on. However, it happens. It does. But get a grip. Because as you age, if you don't already know what you're looking for in a sexual partner or in a relationship, you have wasted a lot of damn time. And that, remember when we just talked about earlier where time waits for no one? It does not. So if you sit around here and you just having sex with somebody and just passing on these soul ties and doing all that, that's wasting time, bro. That's wasting time. I don't care how old you get to the point where you're like, okay, I ain't gotta be in no relationship. Okay, you don't have to be in no relationship, but you can't just be willing to just lay up with any and everybody. You still passing on soul ties. You still creating bonds with people that you don't even want to create these bonds with. So the good sex would simply follow the good relationship dynamics. So if you already in a healthy relationship, sex is going to grow in a great capacity. It's going to continue to get better every time because you are in a good relationship. You're in a good foundation. You're in something that's strong and built upon. It's going to get better. The more you fall in love with somebody, the better the sex is. But also, it's a thriving point. The She said exactly. It's also possible that people who are positive in general are more likely to get involved in a close relationship, which in turn benefits their well-being. Such a cynical process would imply that the happy just get happier, and that's very true. The more sex people are having, it's not just because it's like, oh, it just feel good. It's because they like doing it with the person that they with. It feels good to them from that person. It feels good to please and pleasure that person. It feels good to want to be wanted. It feels good to know that you are wanted. It's so many reasons why good sex matters, because a bad sexual relationship is totally draining. It's draining because now you're forcing yourself to have sex with these people just because you don't want to piss them off, or like I said, out of comfort. You don't want to get into just a comfortable sexual relationship. You want to have a good fucking relationship that allows you to be exactly who you need to be. When you wake up in the morning, you on the good foot. When you go to bed at night, you on the good foot. Throughout the day, you may be happier. It's reasons behind that. It's not just because the sex good. It's because of the person who you fucking. So you can't get up and be happy and bragging about nothing like that when you fucking multiple people, because you don't even know who gave you the feeling. You don't know. Because it's coming from several different people. So having a strong sexual relationship and healthy is going to always be key. Make sure that you are doing things in your sexual relationship, in your relationship in general, that is making you happy, your partner happy, and as a combo together, you both are happy. The less it is less stress when you're dealing with multiple people. I'm sorry, less stress when you're dealing with one person. It's more stress when you're dealing with multiple people. Who got time to try to remember what position somebody did on them, and now you got to remember who did it, who you did it with. That's way too much. That's way too much. And as like I said, as we age, and y'all, we cannot still be right here doing that. Like, come on, bro. Like, you really gonna have to change how you operate sexually if you think that the only thing you're supposed to be doing is constantly having sex with different people because it make your ego feel good. You can fuck one person and feel good. You can do that. Trust me. People who have been married for 30 years doing that. And they having fun with it because they know exactly what each other want, like, need, all that. It's not just a lust situation. All right. Yes. Okay. So how serious are you with your life and the goals that are in it? She said, I don't see how people have multiple partners like that, just humping around. Girl, that's disgusting, honestly. It's just disgusting. And I know everybody be like, men do it and we got to excuse men, but they hunching different women. So are you one of the women? Are you okay with that? Or are you okay with it because you know you messing around with other men? So it can't, it's a cycle of sexual abuse is what it is. You can't think that your relationship with someone is going to ever be serious or founded or delicious for you if they fucking multiple people, because they just not going to remember everything about your sexuality that makes them happy. You're not, that even make you happy. You're supposed to be having sex with somebody that knows you so well that even in the process of y'all being upset with each other, or he knows what to do for you sexually without fucking you, because the mind fucking is there. The Just the touching in general of showing feelings and emotions and not robbing you of those things, that's there. You have to have someone that can see and feel and cope and help you deal with whatever type of emotional things you may be going through, and sex ain't always the answer. So when they're there for you, you already know that they can pleasure you, and they can also assist you in things that you're not focused on, things that aren't sexual. Your appetite for that person is definitely not just sexual. So, but if you being fuck good and love good, trust me, it builds up other areas of your relationship. That's why good sex does matter. You gotta have good sex, bro. If the sex ain't good, bro, a person ain't gonna be happy in that situation. I'm telling you. But you cannot think that you can please 12 people. Somebody gonna get left out. Somebody gonna get left out. How serious are you with your goal, your life, and the goals that are in it? We all know that setting goals is important, but we don't realize how important they are as we continue to move through life. um Goal setting does not have to be boring. It does not have to be boring, and there are many benefits and advantages to having a set of goals to work towards. Setting goals helps trigger new behaviors, it helps guide your focus, and it helps sustain your momentum in life. And baby, let me tell you something about momentum. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. So if you have set goals and you're not boosting yourself up to go and make them goals happen, or you're not saying that, if you don't see a benefit of these goals, then you wasting time. So you got to have that momentum. You got to have ways to sustain. You have to be focused. That means that days of you, it's going to be plenty of days and plenty of times that you have to come out of your comfort zone to do things that you need to do. It's going to be plenty of times that you have to step outside and be like, step outside that box and be like, you know what? How I did that yesterday is not going to be how I do it today. I'm going to try it different today. Today may be the day that I need to actually get up and take a walk to make this thought process work. You may have to actually take your computer and go work outside that day, or you may have to actually go to networking events that you haven't been to. You may have to anything that steps you outside the box of everything that you be doing, because the norm ain't gonna be the only thing that help build your goals up and make sure that your businesses are running smoothly. Not just the normal. You got to step outside the norm. So with that being said, you got to set your goal. Setting goals help you do all that and more. And it also helps you align your focus and promotes a sense of self-mastery. And in the end, you can't manage what you don't measure, and you can't improve upon something that you don't properly manage. So I hate to hear people say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that," but I ain't lifted a muscle, or I ain't got a whole plan together at all. What's the plan? What's the plan? You got to have a plan. Put that shit on paper. Putting it on paper makes things real. It makes it real, baby. It ain't nothing you gonna question about. You're gonna be fine with how you move because you have written that down and you know exactly. And if it don't work that first way, write it a different way. Don't keep doing the same thing the same way, because that's insanity. If don't change your goal, don't change that outcome. Just change how you get to it. If it's not working that way, switch it up a little bit. All right, switch it up a little bit, and that's okay. We're gonna go to our next topic, which is how much growth have you gained in your life while married or in a long-term relationship. Um, so I was talking to a married friend of mine a little while ago, and they were letting me know that since they've been married, that they haven't grown much, and I was like shocked. Because I felt like, they were in a growing situation, and it kind of shocked me a little bit when I heard the conversation. And they, them letting me know that, listen, we done been together too long for me to still be working at this job, and I'm not moving, and I'm not doing this. I don't have any motivation. Um, I'm pretty much just taking it day by day. So you taking it day by day for 20 years? 20 years of taking it day by day. That's that's that don't even seem like you feeding your own soul. That don't even seem like you feeding your own goals or feeding your own truths. So not settling for good enough. In a relationship, in a marriage, in a whatever, a connection, you cannot settle for things that are just good enough. Because guess what? That whole time that you're building is going to be just good enough. I'm only doing this because I know this is the right way for it to go, and I know what my outcome going to be. That's just you just making choices based on hold on. 20 years is too long, I'm telling you. You just making choices based on the day. You're not making choices based on what you're trying to build. That day to day, you can't. If God wanted you, or if the Most High wanted you to just intentionally say, I'm only going to do things just for today, why you think He wake you up every day? You can set 5-year goals, and even if we don't know we're going to live for 5 more years, the plan is to have that shit done in 5 years. Set those goals and be realistic about those goals. So, but you cannot get in there and settle just for anything. You cannot just settle for the good enough. Whatever you're doing, you got to put more drive into it. Whatever he's doing, he got to put more drive into it. You got to have goals together in a relationship. It ain't just got to be individual goals, but you do need to have some common ground goals as well. All right. So the next one is working on goals and do things together. And that's what I was just explaining. If there are going to be times where y'all have y'all own goals. If y'all say when you first get married, within 5 years, you want to buy a house, that means two people have to build toward trying to work on getting that house. It don't just fall on one person's lap. This is a commitment with both of us. Two people collectively have to do that. Whatever goals you set as a couple, you work on together as a couple. There are going to be times when you up late night having these conversations because you're building. You're building. It's not just about one person. And if we get that out of our mind that the man supposed to do this or the woman supposed to do that, it'll be so much better. So much better. You'll get so much more done because you're doing it collectively. All right? Arguing constructively. You stupid motherfucker. Come back over here, raggedy. That's not. That's not. That's not constructive. It's not constructive. Mm-mm. That's tearing a bitch down. I don't want to hear nobody talk to me worse than my mama did. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to get yelled at by another grown up that I'm calling my partner, that I'm calling my peace. And you got my peace achy to where I don't even want to come home and talk. No, we're not gonna do that. If you got a problem with your partner, your conversation with them needs to be. I mean, your argument with them needs to be a conversation. All that hollering at a person and raising your voice like they your kids, baby. People being ass and killing about stuff like that now. Have some respect. Have some dignity. Have some decorum. Seriously, lower your voice. Lower your voice and lower the words that you're using. If they're going to be words that are going to be indicative to make me feel worse than what I'm already feeling, keep your damn words. I don't even want to talk. But you have to have some decorum when you're talking to your partner. You chose this person to be your partner for a reason. And now you around here talking to them like they ain't worth a damn. No, you got to change that up. So your arguing needs to be built on constructive criticism to where it's going to make y'all grow. Where it's going to be a conversation. Like if y'all say y'all setting a goal for this to happen during this time, make it happen during that time. If it don't happen during that time and now you upset and you want to talk about it, go talk about it. But don't come in there like you talking to your kid. Don't come in there like, hey man, I told you to do this. No, you didn't. Because who you talking to? Have some decorum. It's out of respect. You should not talk to anybody how you don't want to be talked to. And if that's the way you want to be talked to, go get you some damn therapy. You shouldn't even want to be talked to like that. Therapy helps. It works. Be willing to apologize. Be willing to apologize. Stop sitting up there being stubborn. You're going to ruin your damn relationship. Or you'll make somebody shut down on you and they don't even want to talk because you're being stubborn. Be willing to apologize. If you messed up and you did something wrong, apologize for it. Because guess what? Not being right is okay. Not being right is okay. You may have thought you were right. Then they're going to come and let you know, well, babe, this ain't really how it went. This how it went. Let me let you know on this. Let me let you in on this so we can go ahead and get past this. And go ahead and let them know, you know what? I'm sorry. I just really thought that I was right about that, but I apologize. I thought that was the way it was supposed to go. And get over it. Put your ego to the side. Put your ego to the side. Have regular discussions about your relationship. Where it's not fulfilling, if it's not fulfilling, speak up about it. Talk about it. If you want to see changes in your relationship financially, if you want to see changes in your relationship sexually, mentally, physically, talk up, speak. Don't hold back, but just come to talk to someone with respect. All right. Always show them the respect that they deserve, just like you want to be given the respect that you deserve. Setting goals and sticking to achieving them. Those goals that you set, that if you said that at the end of the month y'all should have $2,000 saved up to do something, have that $2,000 saved up. Put that shit to the side that you said you want to do and focus on what you said you want to do. It's not fair to set goals with your partner and then you be the one that break away from it. It's not fair. Doing things together, that grows that makes the bond so much stronger when y'all have date nights. And never stop dating your partner. Go out on a regular basis and do things with them. It's super important for them to always feel that you care about them, just like you want to feel that they care about you. And when you're doing things together, make sure that you're always giving people compliments and that you're telling them how much you enjoy their company, and make sure there's somebody company that you enjoy. Don't just be out here being with nobody. I'm telling you, we got to stop choosing people out of comfort or out of familiarity, and then actually work on building something with someone that may not even have known you at all, and now they're learning who you are now from jump. All right, be open-minded. Being open-minded is simply as it states, do not shut down opportunities just because you don't know anything about them. That's not the goal of being in a marriage or a long-term relationship. It's super duper important to make sure that your mind is not simply stated on how you was raised and how you grew up. Baby, no. Half of the time you don't even want to hear about what people did when they was growing up anyway. Hey, King. That's my little dude right there, King. Um, but make sure that you're doing exactly what you said that you're gonna do. If you have set these goals and and now is the time to have a more conversation about it. Your man say, but babe, I don't want us to do it that way because guess what? These are the repercussions. Listen to those repercussions. Some of them you may agree with, some of them you may not, but at least listen. Have your mind open. Give them the opportunity to give them the opportunity to share what they feel without feeling like you gonna laugh or tell them that shit ain't gonna work. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We ain't doing that. It's 2024. It's almost 2025, and y'all around here playing in people's face. No. Continuing to work on individual goals and skills. So even though you have your own goals as a couple, in a relationship, it's still okay to have your individual goals, because what you got going on individually may not be the same thing that you're working in your relationship with. What's up, Jew? May not be what you're working on in your relationship. However, the goals in your relationship can help build your individual goals to be more stronger, more assertive, and may actually be fulfilled. If you take an opportunity to sit up and just focus on your goals in general and not the relationship goals, then there's going to be some miscommunication and some failures there. We have to stop thinking in a selfish manner when we in a partnership. Hey, Miss Lady, how you doing? Good to hear from you. We definitely have to put our focus on on our relationship, but also pull from our relationship to help our own separate goals be beneficial. And there we go. There's a married woman that agrees. I love this. As a married woman, I absolutely agree. Yes, you cannot, and there, because you got your husband and you work two different fields, but in order for y'all to work two different fields and have two different lifestyles, your lifestyle together had to make that happen. You can't do it alone. Not when you're in no marriage. A marriage and a partnership and a relationship is not to just be taken for granted. It's to be utilized to build upon. Some people don't even have goals until they get in a relationship, into a marriage, into a partnership. They don't start to see their goals until they step inside it. Now it's like, oh, we doing this. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see how I can go with this. That is a benefit. It's a benefit. Your partner is a benefit. So make sure you always communicate with them when there are things going on. You're gonna, as a recap, I have been great. I'm doing just well, sweetheart. I promise you that. Life is good. I'm so glad that you're doing well. I love that you are out here doing your own entrepreneurial thing, your business. I love that. You talked about that when we were working at Elder Affairs. You talked about it. So I knew this was gonna be a stand in the paint situation because you was always focused. So I'm glad to see you out here doing your thing now. Good job. And that's what having a strong partnership is. You know what I'm saying? They support each other. So not settling for good enough, working on goals and new things together, arguing constructively, be willing to apologize. Not being right is okay. Remember that, okay? All you bossy ass women, not being right is okay. Remember that. You don't always got to be right. You do not. What's up, my girl? having regular discussions about your relationship so you can constantly build upon it, setting goals and sticking to achieving them together and separately, making sure that you're constantly dating your partner and loving your partner, and being open-minded. If you're not being open-minded, that means you're being selfish. And we do not want a lot of these relationships to keep ending because of selfish reasons. If you're gonna get in this, if you're gonna get in the field with this man or this woman, stay in the field. Stop running away. Anytime something get a little tough, y'all take off. That's not the way it's supposed to go. Thank you, beautiful. We did have these conversations back then. I'm so glad you're doing well too. Thank you, sweetheart. Yes. So, like I told y'all, I was gonna have a quick show for y'all then. I still went over my time a little bit. I wanted to just do a quick 30-minute show for y'all, but I had a little bit more conversation to put out there to make sure that you all understood that goals are not something that you play with. If you drafting up things that you want to do, if you're putting it out there and you putting it on paper, be serious about it. Talking about it is nothing if you're not putting some action behind it. All right. So to everybody that is walking in their own world, doing a big one, uh, whether you be a business owner, whether you work for somebody, however you doing it, as long as you doing it the way you're supposed to and you grounded in your goals, keep going. Make sure you keep on building up your partner so that y'all can keep going together. And I truly appreciate y'all for tuning in today. I will see y'all next Wednesday. Will I see y'all next one? Yes. One of these Wednesdays coming up, I'm going to miss y'all because I'm going to be cruising for my mama for her 60th birthday. But until then, I will see y'all next week. And y'all take care of yourselves. Stay focused. Don't be on no bullshit. And have some good sex. Take care of yourselves. Peace. Thank you too, sis. Love you.